Welcome back to the final, most transformative video in Karmic Keys to Financial Mastery. Today, we will address the ultimate spiritual blockage, which is the scarcity mindset and the inability to give generously. I want you to reflect on this crucial struggle. Does the thought of giving money away, even a small amount, trigger a deep primal fear of lack? Do you feel that your resources are so precarious that you must hold on to every penny, thereby closing the door to receiving more? If the fear of loss rules your generosity, then your soul's assignment involves Jupiter, the planet of abundance and charity, and the 12th house. The 12th house of loss, liberation, and ultimate spending. This lesson is about transforming past life hoarding and fear into radical trust and conscious circulation. Let's talk about the karmic root. The karmic root here is hoarding and mistrust of the divine. The struggle with generous giving is rooted in a fundamental mistrust of the universe's provision, forged through specific past life actions. Let's talk about your past life scenario. Perhaps you were the hoarding tyrant or the fearful refugee. The Jupiter block stems from a past life where you either grossly misused generosity or experienced catastrophic loss. You may have been the hoarding tyrant, which is Jupiter misused, who controlled all the resources in a community, refusing to fund necessary charity or aid, thereby causing suffering and death due to your greed. What that may have been like for you? Well, let's talk about that. You lived a life where money was a weapon of control. And now your subconscious knows that money must be restricted because when you had it, you used it only for selfish ends. This debt returns as the fear of having to give to others. Alternatively, you may have been the fearful refugee, which is the 12th house loss, who endured a terrible past life experience where everything was suddenly taken away, leaving you profoundly impoverished and betrayed. Now, what that may have been like for you? Well, that traumatic memory of sudden, utter loss returns as a present life scarcity mindset, making you believe that holding on to money is the only defense against inevitable disaster. So the soul's ultimate assignment is to demonstrate radical, unconditional trust in the universal flow. Let's talk about your astrological code in terms of what you need to see in your chart, whether you have this or not. Look at Jupiter, the 12th house, and Ketu. So look for these specific indicators in your birth chart to confirm this lesson. First is an afflicted Jupiter. So a debilitated, a combust, or a heavily afflicted Jupiter struggles to deliver its natural lesson of faith and ethical generosity, causing the native to default to greed or fear. Learn about afflictions in my foundational videos in the playlist on how to see whether your Jupiter is afflicted or how a planet is afflicted. Next, look at the 12th house ruler. The 12th house rules ultimate expense and loss. If its ruler is afflicted, or its lord is connected to the wealth houses, it signifies that spending and circulation, including giving, are the primary arenas for spiritual growth. Fear of loss is the barrier to liberation. So check out if your 12th house and your money houses, house number 2 and 11, are connected by any means. Again, for foundational videos, check in the video description. Next is Ketu in the 2nd house, or Ketu conjunct Jupiter. Now, Ketu creates a detachment or dissatisfaction where it sits. In the 2nd house of income, it creates a constant dissatisfaction with money itself, pushing the person towards hoarding or refusing to use wealth, believing it to be spiritually inferior. This person rarely even spends on themselves. So check for those astrological codes. So what is the soul's assignment for this person? Well, it's radical trust in conscious circulation. Let's go into details of it. The soul's goal here is to shift your financial identity from the scared hoarder to the open conduit. You must replace fear of loss with unconditional faith. For that, you've got to do conscious circulation. Your core assignment is to view money as energy, not as a finite resource. You must consciously engage in giving, in investment, and in ethical spending to prove that you trust the flow. This act of conscious circulation heals past life hoarding. What's your second remedy? Your second remedy is radical trust. The virtue to cultivate is faith, the realization that the universe operates on a principle of reciprocity. What you release with a pure heart is always returned, often many folds, often exponentially. The 12th house demands that you surrender the material fear to achieve spiritual liberation. And this is a really big secret of the world. You give and you get plentiful back. Let's talk about a universal remedy to conquer the scarcity mindset and activate the power of the spiritual tid. We implement the following assignments. First is the gratitude and giving ritual. This will help to heal the hoarder. This combines Jupiter's wisdom with a practical Saturnian structure. Every time money enters your life, no matter what the amount is, immediately separate a small fixed percentage, for example, 5% or 10%, for conscious giving. Before donating it, pause and physically bless the money that you're giving away, saying aloud, I give this with joy and trust. It returns to me multiplied for the highest good. This structured, intentional ritual breaks the karmic pattern of grasping and scarcity. The next is spending with joy practice. This heals the refugee mindset that you had from a past life. This heals the past life trauma of sudden loss. Identify an area where you currently spend money with intense guilt or fear. For example, bills, taxes, necessities. When paying, stop the fear-based thought and replace it with genuine joy and gratitude for the services rendered. For example, when paying rent, say, I joyfully give this money in exchange for the safety and security of my home. This rewires the brain to associate spending with positive emotional security, healing the deep wound of loss. Your struggle with giving is the universe's final test. Will you trust in the invisible spiritual economy or remain trapped by the visible material fear? The past life karmic lesson was a failure to honor the divine law of circulation, choosing greed or fear. The soul's assignment now is to become an open, ethical conduit for wealth, ensuring that you use abundance to elevate yourself and others. This final karmic lesson fulfills the grandest part of your soul contract to demonstrate true stewardship and achieve financial liberation on your soul journey. Let's talk about your spiritual assignments and your next steps. Let's activate your flow now. First, I want to know, tell me in the comments. Tell me which house is your Jupiter in. This reveals a specific area of life where your faith and generosity are being tested. Second, begin your gratitude and giving ritual with the next money that enters your life, no matter how small. And of course, if you'd like to take a deep dive into your own personal chart, you can reach out to me via the link in the video description or in the About section of this channel. And if you enjoyed this video, please go ahead and click like, go ahead and hit subscribe for more Vedic wisdom. And as always, thank you so much for watching, and that's all for today.